Hey guys, so today is actually June 12th. I'm not vlogging today, but I
So we are like a week behind, which isn't bad for Amber because I think we get clips that are like a month or two old.
did want to try something with you guys because as you know, I am trying to get in more protein. So
That's her new, I'm sorry for stopping already, but it's so hilarious that that's her excuse now for like having to force herself to eat. And there's like air quotes going up at force. Is, I need my protein, guys. I need my protein, 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 protein. And it's like hilarious because it's just like, girl, you've never cared about the nutritional value of anything you've eaten for years. You've never cared about your protein intake before. People have told her repeatedly, you need to eat more protein, cut back on the processed food and carbohydrates, eat foods that are more nutritionally dense and not like lacking. And all she cares about is, oh, just the calorie count, just the calorie count. And like myself and a ton of other people have preached so long that it isn't just about the calorie count, it's about other things. But it's funny because we know she really truly doesn't really want to lose weight. She doesn't care about the protein or the nutrition. It's just an excuse for her to eat more. And some of the stuff she's been eating is better than a lot of the stuff we see her eat, but we know it's not real because, like, I'm sorry, I don't think she looks like she's losing weight like much, if at all, because these shots, these are filtered. There's angles, there's lighting. She's definitely using the filter, but in certain angles and certain times you can see where there is the filter cannot work, it's not picking it up. You can see how much rounder her face actually is, and in the candid pictures we get from her in the wild, she's a lot bigger and rounder than she looks here. So there's a lot of deception going on. I still personally think she's up around 540 pounds. That's just me. All I know is there is no way she's in the 470s. No way, no way, no way. But anyways.
I don't lose muscle, I don't become weak, I don't lose.
Oh, I'm sorry I keep stopping, but this woman doesn't hardly have any muscle. Okay, and again, it was nothing she was ever worried about. It's an excuse to eat, to have to eat, and to put it on camera because she has no other content.
More hair. So I actually got some protein cereal. This is my pantry, by the way.
Okay, I'm gonna let her talk first.
I did get a comment one time that was like, I bet your pantry is humongous with a ton of food.
The one in Kentucky was, girl. You had enough food for like a good 3 months by your standard, 6 months for normal people to survive into a zombie apocalypse. We saw the pantry in the old apartment.
This is it. I guess you
And it's got crap.
could say there's a ton of food there, but it's kind of a small little moment. I actually don't have like a real pantry. That would be cool if I did though.
That upspeak, dude, that upspeak is hilarious. It's so annoying and it sounds so dumb, but I don't know if she thinks it makes her sound cute. I don't have a real pantry. Like, I can't even do it. Like, I can't even do like a pantry. Guys, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Like, I can't even do it because I'm recovering from a strep throat. So, like, I can't get that upward inflection. It just sounds so dumb. Oh my God.
Clean her up some and organize her some. So I'm not gonna do that today, but sometime soon. And I still have these dang things.
No, she doesn't. If you believe that that's the original bag she hauled, you are you're crazy. That's probably the second bag or maybe the third or fourth. I guarantee she's blown through at least one whole bag of those. That type of stuff doesn't last around Amber. Amber is her size for a reason. Crystal's parents had to physically lock Amber out of kitchen cupboards and stuff when she lived there at some point for a reason. She's just not this miraculously changed woman. Like I said before, she does this all the time. She did it in the weight loss surgery arc. She did it whenever she was doing the cottage cheese and mustard diet, if you want to call it that. All of a sudden, she just has self control and food doesn't control her and she's got it all together and she's completely changed. And then she'll tell us a month later, oh, no, I was doing bad. I was in a bad way. I wasn't doing good. Like, it's all just absolutely an act because it's one of the only things that gives her views and money left is food and weight loss type content. But she'd make no bones about it. She does not want to lose weight and she does not want to give up her food.
Binge on them? Nothing. I can't even tell you the last drop pepper. I can't even tell you the last time I quote unquote binged. So this is high protein Special K chocolate almond cereal. So I'm like,
Amber, you know what's high protein? Freaking protein. Like the steak and eggs you were supposedly obsessed with, that is good. That's protein. It's more protein than this cereal. You know, any kind of meat, eggs, even with a little bit of cheese, beans, rice, legumes, stuff like that, tofu, that's protein. You don't need, this is an excuse. This is a marketing tactic. Oh, it's protein cereal. And Amber is a sucker for these advertisements. You know, oh, it's green, or it says healthy, it says whole, it says protein on it, it's healthy. It's just a ploy. It's at the end of the day, it's a highly refined cereal. It's a refined cereal, and she's looking for ways to squeeze things in that give her her foodgasm, that give her her dopamine kick, that that she likes, that she can try to spin as healthy. Instead of actually really wanting to change what she eats. Like, she would never have cereal in her house right now if she was serious about losing weight. She can't control herself. She'll binge. And it's just about using the Ozempic to make better choices and change her habits, which she's not doing. If she is on Ozempic and she is losing some weight, she will top out at maybe 40 or 50 pounds. If she gets that far, because she force feeds herself. And then she will not want to be on Ozempic forever, and she will get off of it, and she will gain all the way back with interest. That's just how it is. And somebody in my comment section brought up a good point. I can't remember your name. If I remember, I'll go back and look at it, and I'll plug your name on the screen somewhere around here. But they said, do you think that she's really actually on insulin as a diabetic, and she doesn't want to admit that because she's always been adamant, I'm not diabetic, because that would be her own fault, and she would catch a lot of shit for it. But they said, do you think she's really on insulin, and those are her insulin shots her mom's given her, and she's just trying to pass it off as Ozempic for content and to make it look like she's trying to do something about her weight, and if there's a little bit of weight loss, that would explain why. You know what? That's a really good theory. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know. Do you think that that's a possibility? Is there a chance that that could actually be insulin? Is she having trouble with blood sugars? Let me know. That's a very interesting theory. And you know what? It's not out of the realm of possibility.
okay, we're gonna try that. And then also, we need milk. It's just Highland 2% reduced fat milk.
And the reduced fat milk is bad, Amber. Yeah, it's slightly less calories, but it has less protein and more sugar in it, because when they strip out the fat, all you're left with is like the sugar. You're better off just drinking the whole milk and measuring it out, or better yet, on your weight loss endeavor, get like an almond milk or something. Not oat milk, because it's higher in calories and higher in carbohydrates. But you can get an almond milk, an unsweetened almond milk, and it's only like 15 to 30 calories a serving. It's still got a little bit of protein. It has less sugar, less carbohydrates. It would be a better choice. But again, Amber is of that 1980s calories only, low fat like mindset that, oh, the low fat skim milk is better. It's not a better choice. But anyways.
So I'm gonna measure everything, because you could overdo it with cereal super easily. All right.
Yeah, everybody does, because a serving is tiny, and it's a food meant to be overeaten, made to be overeaten. My son, if I sat him down with one proper measured out food portion, like portion of cereal, he'd be like, is this a joke? And he just turned 12, and I know he's getting older so he can eat more. But when my son was 7, he would have been like, is this a joke? Nobody eats one serving. And actually, cereal is one of, like, for those of you who've been around, you know, I have like disordered eating background and problems with like the Mia and binging and restricting and stuff like that. So if you guys are new, there's a little quick synopsis. Maybe someday I'll do a video about it. It won't get monetized, but that's okay. I'll just share it with you guys. But I don't want my channel flagged by daddy YouTube. But I've been more than honest. I have like some foods are very bad trigger foods. Cereal is one of those trigger foods for me. My favorite one is Captain Crunch. It's the superior. I know. Not everyone agrees. But any cereal, pretty much, especially one that is a little bit sweet or very sweet, I can't have it in the house. My son, luckily, doesn't eat a lot of cereal. He likes oatmeal. He likes steel cut oats too, and those are slightly better for you, so I got to get those for him. But I can't have cereal in the house because I will eat the entire box. I will eat until I like am stuffed. It's bad. It's a very bad trigger food. And there's nothing healthy about it, no matter how they try to spin it. And before I get going here, I'm just gonna say too, by the way, Amber's serving dishes, like her plates and her, dinnerware, is huge. This bowl she's putting on this scale, and I have food scales because I measure out food and stuff, and I use that to measure out soap ingredients. I can tell you that bowl is ginormous for just to eat out of. We would use that as like a small serving bowl in my house.
Put a bowl down and then turn on the scale. So instead of using this to do a serving, I like to weigh my food because it's not that accurate.
And people have told you that a million times, Amber. I do believe I've said it. Ilona harps on about that, and that's where I learned it, was Ilona. And yeah, like the measurements and stuff and the serving amounts on food labels can be really off. And yeah, you could pour a heaped like amount of cereal into that cup and get more, and other people can get less. So yes, it is accurate at the best level to measure out your stuff. We've been telling her that.
I'll show you.
She doesn't even need to measure stuff right now. She's not at that point yet. It's good if she's getting into the habit, but she's not. This is purely for the video. She doesn't do this. She does not do this all the time. She shouldn't even be eating cereal. She doesn't need cereal. I'm sorry. Like, she doesn't need stuff like this that she enjoys this much. It makes her do a freaking happy dance. She needs to stick with the eggs, the meat, like no sugar yogurts, lots of non-starchy vegetables, and some like berries or melon. And that's really all this woman needs to eat. She doesn't need freaking cereal. It's a junk food. She'll eat the whole box. She'll eat the whole box off camera. See, it's just about wanting to change your habits, and she doesn't.
So a serving of the cereal is 1 cup or 59 grams. So I'm going to do a whole cup like this. So you go ahead and assume this is 59 grams because it says a cup is a serving, but it's 41. Actually, no, 40. So sometimes.
So that would be good for you, Amber, because it's actually less than what it said.
You'll get too little, which I wouldn't mind.
Do you hear her? Sometimes you get too little, which I wouldn't mind. And like, Amber, stop trying to force this narrative that you're this like a small portion eater, that you don't eat that much. Oh, a smaller portion, which I wouldn't mind, Amber. Yes, you would. We've seen your food aggression, ironically enough, with cereal was a prime example of it. But you're not happy with less. You want more. So this whole, she just keeps trying to distance herself from the people on my 600-pound life and all that. She's always said, I don't eat like this. She absolutely does. It's just behind closed doors. She doesn't want to admit that she's just a glutton, because it's an unattractive trait.
Or sometimes you get too much, which is not what I'm aiming for here. So it's just easier to weigh it out. Okay, 50 grams. And then I just hold this down and it'll.
She doesn't do this every time.
So I can turn it back on.
Guys,
and then I'm going to change the
She's
units
too lazy.
to ml. Because a serving of this milk is 240, but I only want half of a serving. So I'm going to do 120.
Oh my gosh, she can't even do a full serving of milk. It's dainty girl. Half a serving. After she turned off the camera, she just dumped all the stuff into this bowl.
See, I'm not going to do this every time. I kind of just want like an idea. Okay.
And see, she admitted it. But even then, if you just eyeball it, you can still be way off. She's not to the point where she's good enough to eyeball. And some things you shouldn't eyeball. Like cereal's one of those things you shouldn't eyeball. You should always measure it out. But like I said, right now she's still so big. She's at the point where she doesn't necessarily need to measure stuff out. Like I said, it's a good habit, but she wouldn't need to measure anything out if she was just eating better foods. Like if she wasn't eating freaking cereal, she wouldn't need to do this.
25, that's fine. I just want like an idea of what a serving.
Yeah, and look, it's not very much. It fills up a third of that bowl. A third of that big ass bowl she has. That's not very much. Amber's gonna fill that bowl up to the top, just like anybody else would.
Cereal looks like with a half a serving of milk. And that is about what it looks like there. All right, so I'm simply just trying to sneak protein in any way that I can. And
then eat protein, Amber. Eat boiled eggs, eat deviled eggs, make some scrambled eggs, have some tofu, have some actual like meat, not your freaking salami. Have some chicken strips, non-breaded, stuff like that. You don't, oh, I'm trying to sneak in my protein by eating cereal that's labeled protein. That's just shit. That's like a shit food. And again, it's just her excuse for eating the cereal. I have to eat the cereal because I'm trying to get in my protein, and it's a protein cereal. You'd be better off. You could have eaten a couple hard-boiled eggs and you would have done better.
I love cereal. It's a nice little sweet meal.
Yes, it's a nice little sweet meal, and that's why you shouldn't be eating it. You need to cut down how much sweet shit you eat because you're addicted to this stuff. And you're going to crave it, and it's going to make you want to eat more. You have no self-control or self-discipline. So you can't have this type of stuff around you because it's going to be gone.
Too, so
she needs a supervisor.
All right, let's try it. I hope it doesn't have that like weird protein taste.
There you go. Look at there's the big old eyes.
I hope it doesn't have that like weird protein taste.
Yep, right there. There's the foodgasm. You see this face? This eyeballs popping out of her head, lips pursed, oh my God, rocking back and forth doing a happy dance. She should eat nothing that gives her this response. And I know people get mad and say, oh, it's rude that you don't think she should enjoy her food. She should like her food and be able to tolerate it. But she shouldn't like it to this degree, because this is the stuff she binges on, she overeats on, that got her to 600 some pounds, almost 700 some pounds. She doesn't do this for eggs and steak and meat and all this. She shouldn't be eating this. She should only eat things that she can tolerate at this point. She's enjoyed food more than enough for plenty of years to come. So sorry, I said it.
Shut up. That's good.
Of course it is, Amber. It's freaking cereal with chocolate. Of course it's going to be good.
20 grams of protein for a serving of this.
How much?
Shut up. That's good. It's 20 grams of protein for a serving.
20 grams of protein. Amber, you could have eaten 2 or 3 eggs and gotten just as much protein. And it would have been much healthier for you. Have some meat. You know what I mean? Like, there's just so many other things. Like, you didn't need to eat the cereal. Because then along with the protein, Amber, you also had the calories. You had the worst part, all the refined, processed carbohydrates, which is sugar. There's 20 grams of sugar in this bowl here, or protein. But there's probably the equivalent of about 8 teaspoons of sugar in it too, which is not good, because Amber has to be knocking on type 2 diabetes' door. She definitely have insulin resistance, chronic inflammation. Just get your carbohydrates from better sources. You know what I mean? Get them from non-starchy vegetables, maybe a measured out portion of rice or squash or something. Amber can't control herself around certain things, and carbohydrates are a big problem for a lot of people, myself included. She shouldn't have this. She could have made better choices. Have some eggs with some vegetables, or some meat with some vegetables, a salad, something like that.
Of this cereal, and it tastes amazing. Wow. What I love about this, it's not getting soggy. I noticed that cereal just gets soggy really quick.
Well, yeah, because you're putting it in milk, dum-dum. And no, it's not going to get soggy because you're going to wolf it down.
This stays crunchy.
Oh Oh my God, just watching her eat is so gross.
Hello. So today is June 14th. I promise this is not a taste testing channel, but we might as well call it that.
Yeah, because all you do is eat, Amber. If you didn't have food or weight content, you would have nothing. And I remember in the last video, she talked about how much easier she's moving and how fluidly she's moving. No, look at this. You can still see. She only shows us like her walking kind of like partially for like a second at a time because she still has to do that ogreish lumbering side to side walk because she has to swing her legs out because she can't bend her knees and she can't walk. I, on a clinical level, would not even consider Amber mobile, like fully mobile. I would consider her partially mobile, partially ambulatory, because she doesn't walk properly and she can't do it for long and she can't lift her feet. But yeah.
All right, because
look at this. She's literally as wide as a refrigerator, but here she is eating cereal for the protein. Yeah, girl.
I have been taste testing.
Yeah, like she doesn't need to taste test anything. She doesn't need to be taste testing, putting food content out there, but she has nothing without it. And she's like not even a good food tester or reviewer because she doesn't. Her and Foodie both, they don't give any actual like description of what the food tastes like. They're just like, oh my God, watch my foodgasm, so good, guys. Oh, and then eyeballs roll back, and and then the feeders, have their fapping material, and that's that. There's no actual description of the food or anything like that.
Sold many things, but you know what?
And it's her excuse to try things on, I have to buy this new food. I have to try this new food because I'm taste testing it. And she writes it off on her taxes too.
I've been doing it since the beginning of time on my channel.
But I want to do a little bit of a taste test.
No,
I'm not really like
she's been really bad about adding a bunch of old clips in to pad out content. And I'm tempted to report it for reuse content because she's been doing it every video. She puts in several clips, enough to get her a couple more ads.
Biggest fan of it because
if you could feel a cloud
and like look at that, like do you see her face here in this old clip? This is like 2019, I believe, how big and round it is. One, I don't think her face is ever going to get quite this spherical again because the gravity is really starting to weigh heavy on her, no pun intended, on her skin in her 30s, which isn't old, but for a morbidly obese person it is. But also she wasn't using filters and stuff back then. There are times when we see her face in her vlogs, like in the car or from the side, or when her mom's filming, when the filter's not working, she looks close to being this round again. So that's why you cannot convince me she's in the 470s. She's not almost this size again. At this size, I think she was over 700 pounds at her heaviest. But I don't think she's this big, but I think she's close. I think she's in the 540s. Like I said, 530s to 550s.
Be this. So as you guys know, trying to get that protein.
My God, see, and again, protein. I need my protein, guys. It's an excuse to drink something that is essentially protein-infused chocolate milk. Amber, you don't need muscle milk. Core powder muscle milk. Like I said, you don't need to worry about retaining muscle. Your main focus right now should be losing weight, getting the weight off, and then worry about things like getting protein and doing this, building muscle. Your problem is right now is the weight that's on you is going to kill you and cause health problems. The number one priority should be just getting weight off. You don't need, this is just an excuse to drink something sweet, to have chocolate milk. No. Again, eat meat, eat eggs, eat protein, actual protein for protein. Don't be drinking chocolate. And this is good for people who are fit, who are active, who are in a better place than Amber, who are trying to build muscle, because these don't have a ton of calories. They have 160, 170 calories. It's still a lot. It's more, I would rather her eat her calories because homegirl's going to drink these and then still overeat anyways. So her best bet is to stick with the water and diet sodas. I know she's denying them, but she's drinking them. And get your protein from your actual food as opposed to these. This is just an excuse to, again, the cereal, these, what do we see? It's sweet. Now, I have protein shakes and protein bars, but I don't eat as much as Amber, and I really am strict the rest of the day, and I add those into my macros and stuff, but I don't have them every single day. This is just an excuse for her to be able to eat several sweet, sugary things that she finds delicious in the day. The chocolate milk, the cereal, yeah. So she's not really trying to change her habits and make better food choices, which is sad because the Ozempic could work for her and do a lot for her to get her started, but this is gonna crash and burn just like every other ride on this channel.
So I got this Core Power chocolate. I know there is a Core Power chocolate that has like over 40 protein, but when I got this, they didn't have that. So I got the 26 one. I swear I've had this before. I think I've had it like one time. I remember liking it a lot, but it was a few years ago.
Of course you like it, Amber. It tastes like chocolate freaking milk. Of course you like it.
It's just gonna be like a redo taste test. Obviously, I like to shake it. So you guys have called me out, and I think I'm just gonna be like, yeah, you're right. So I've been saying a lot, I'm not really a meat girly.
Except
I think I've said that my whole life. Because I'm telling you, it used to be true. And I don't think it's true anymore. I think
no, it wasn't. You always loved meat. You didn't like healthy meat. You like jerky and salamis and processed like deli meats and deep fried breaded like orange chicken type meats and like chicken nuggets. You don't like real meat. You like processed crap, but you've always liked meat.
So used to saying it and so used to being that way, but my taste buds change. Like people's taste buds change. It's just what happens. Like taste buds literally change every 7 years.
That's like an old wives' tale. That's not actually how it works. So medical misinformation, Amber.
So don't be surprised when all of a sudden you don't like something you used to, or you like something you used to not.
That is true though, in the sense that just your tastes change and evolve over time. I know things I wouldn't eat. I was a picky kid. I love now that I wouldn't touch back then, and vice versa. My son is starting to be more open to trying different things and stuff. It's just you evolve, you know, but it's like not that 7-year thing. That's an old wives' tale.
I've gotten older. I've noticed.
I wonder if Amber believes that if you swallow gum, it stays in your stomach for like 5 years too. That's another one I used to believe when I was a kid.
I really do like certain meats. I really like steak, and steak isn't like the healthiest.
Then eat it. Hold on, I gotta remind. Eat it. Get rid of the freaking cereal, Amber, and eat the goddamn steak.
I really do like certain meats. I really like steak, and steak isn't like the healthiest for you, so it kind of sucks.
No, steak is exceptionally healthy. Even the fatty cuts of steak are really good for you. But if you really need to watch calories, like, it's best to get, like, fat's not bad for you. Fat is actually beneficial to some degree in weight loss and hormone management and some vitamin and mineral and nutrient absorption. But you can get lean cuts of steak too if you really have to crack down and watch your calories. Or when you eat fat, have it naturally that comes with your food, like the fat in a steak or the yolk with, you know, the rest of the egg, something like that. Like, don't add not additional bad fats like trans fats and stuff like that. Steak is not bad. Like, she seems to get like the slightly leaner cuts of steak, which is fine. So just eat that. Steak it's one of the healthiest foods you can actually freaking eat. So for her to sit there and go, I know it's not the healthiest, that just shows that she's still just believing all these like 1980s dietetics tropes that, oh, like steak, red meat, fat and stuff is bad. No, it's not. But when you are, you know, whether you have weight to lose or you have a sedentary, you still need to eat anything you eat within your specific calorie needs. But no, steak is very full of nutrition, and she should eat it more and get rid of this muscle milk shit, which it serves its place, but nowhere in Amber's life. And the cereal, she's such an idiot.
And I really like salmon. I don't really know if you consider that a meat, but it's still.
Amber, why are you such a dumbass? I don't know if you consider salmon a meat. It's a fish. but that's the flesh of the fish. It's a freaking meat. And, you know, I don't know if she does this just to troll. I know some of the stuff she does to troll, but sometimes I really think in a lot of ways with a lot of this stuff, she actually is this dumb. It's unbelievable. But 140 IQ, guys.
Still,
More like a 140 BMI. No, her BMI is not 140, but it's higher than her IQ.
animal. So, anyways, enough of that. I am a meat girly. Okay, I'm coming out of the closet.
Well, thank you so much for finally admitting it, Amber. I give her props for that because I'm tired of hearing that I'm not a meat girly.
And it's Pride Month. All right, let's try it. Cheers.
Oh, like meat eating pride. Okay. I lean towards vegetarian stuff. I like a lot of meats. I do. I like a lot of them. But if I had a choice, like between like a lot of vegetarian food and meat-based food, I would pick the vegetarian stuff. I always leaned towards vegetarian and vegan when I was a kid, especially vegetarian because I love eggs and cheese and stuff. But I can't have a straight higher carb vegetarian diet right now until I'm like hormonally better. But I'm one of those people. There are some people that do actually lean towards the veg-based stuff. I'm one of them. My son, on the other hand, like a lot of the time what he wants for dinner or lunch or he just wants a plate of meat. He just wants me to cook him some like chicken breast strips with just the meat, no breading, no nothing, just the meat, a little bit of barbecue sauce because that's his thing. That's what he dips in, or some steak just with a little bit of butter and salt, just a big plate of meat. Like, it doesn't want any vegetables or sides with it. And that's extremely healthy. And my son is very fit and healthy. Yeah, but some people definitely lean one way or the other. I think Amber, she leans towards whatever isn't tied down, basically.
Oh my God. That's...
Look at her walking around, like, acting like this is, like, the biggest revolution. Oh, my God, this is delicious. I love it. Because it's freaking chocolate milk, Amber. Jesus. See this? She shouldn't be eating anything that gives her this response.
I'm drinking chocolate milk. I'm drinking chocolate milk.
Yep. See? Nope, you shouldn't have it. Anything that gives her that response... don't have. And see, this is Amber never wants to give this type of stuff up. That's why she will never lose weight. Food is her comfort. It's what she loves. It's what she doesn't want to remove from her life. And frankly, I believe Amber is completely asexual. I think she gets her pleasure strictly from eating. I don't think there's any actual sexual drive in this woman. I think she talks about sex and stuff like that to try to seem edgy because she's very stunted emotionally. And like teenagers would act like that, young teenagers. So she thinks it makes her seem edgy and cool. And she wants, for the sake of getting a new girlfriend, to seem like she's very into that. Because who looks at a partner and goes, oh yeah, I want somebody that has absolutely no interest in intimate relations. No, they want to have those. So she tries to put out that air that she's into that. But I don't think she is at all. She gets her pleasure from food. Yeah. And I mean, hot take, I'm going to say it because it's my channel and I don't even think she's a lesbian. I don't think she's a real lesbian. I think she is with girls because she finds them easier to manipulate because she doesn't just date women. She dates younger girls. She would do the same if she dated guys. And I think that she cannot get the caliber of guy that she thinks she deserves. So... she doesn't date them. She doesn't date guys. She dates women. And here's the other thing is Amber, while she talks the talk, she is actually, I think it's been proven like on her medical paper, she's like clinically a virgin, which is nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? She doesn't like anything to do with anything going in places. So I think that that's another reason she's with women as opposed to men, is that men like things to go in things. If you know what I'm talking, I gotta watch what I'm saying because of YouTube. But and they would expect that at some point if you were dating them, and she just doesn't want to give that up. And that's okay if she isn't comfortable with that, you know, to each their own. But I think Amber is a lesbian. I think she dates women out of specific needs and circumstance, not because she's truly a lesbian. But that's my hot take.
It literally tastes like chocolate milk.
Because that's what it is, Amber.
What the heck? Wow.
Yeah, and she's like wobbling. I mean, God, that tasted so good to her. She was wobbling around like, oh, Weeble's wobbling. I'm not gonna fall down. This chocolate milk makes me like waddle back and forth. No, Amber, don't buy that shit anymore. Eat some eggs.
Okay.
Her hair is looking really bad too. Like, I'm not trying to hair shame anybody or anything, but her hair is looking very dry, very frizzy, very thin and damaged. I mean, it's like all of it too, not just the ends. Like, it just looks, is it just me? It looks like it's getting worse.
That's really good. Now I'm actually about to go organize my earrings because it's about that time.
And
so
she used to have pretty hair.
let's do it.
And I'm skipping through this part. We have seen her, and this is a proper term of the word literally, Amber. We've seen her clean out or organize her earrings literally about 3 times in the past like 9 months. So I'm not watching it.
Okay, guys. So I actually want to. It is.
Amber, you should be ashamed
so
of yourself.
Nice chaos.
God.
And here is all of.
See, okay, here, a perfect example, guys. The girl, the healthy queen, she's totally changed. She cares about the nutrition in her food and the protein and all the good things that it puts in her body. Look at what she's eating.
Of the jewelry that I will be getting rid of.
Look at, she's eating 2 giant deep fried egg rolls at Bingo, which I'm sure are delicious because yes, they're deep fried egg rolls. They're going to be amazing. One of my favorite things at the Chinese place. But 2 big egg rolls dipped in a sweet sauce. That's no doubt a sweet sauce. This is probably about 450, 500 calories. Maybe a little bit more. It could be closer to 6 or 7. And she never really mentioned that they had food at Bingo. And I know from playing Bingo with my my aunt and my mom when they were alive, that a lot of Bingo halls, they do serve food. They do serve food. It's a way of them making extra money. They have volunteers and kids like serve it and stuff. And people volunteer in the kitchens. And it is usually like kind of like bar type food. You can get chicken tenders, chicken wings, fries, some sandwiches, stuff like that. And these deep fried egg rolls. I guarantee she gets snacks all the time like this when they go to Bingo, and she hasn't told us and she hasn't been showing it. She doesn't say, oh, I got a snack at Bingo. I got this. See, this is like sneaky stuff she's now kind of letting out of the bag. And if she was truly changed, at least for now, she wouldn't be eating this type of stuff. If she was having to force herself to eat because Ozempic, she was really on it and she was on an appropriate dose and it was working, I dare say, let me know, you guys. I know I have a lot of viewers in the comments who have or are on Ozempic or something like that, semaglutide. Let me know in the comments. I feel like, especially in the early days of Ozempic, she wouldn't actually be able to eat this, at least out in public, that she might have a hard time with it because it's heavy and really greasy and stuff. Let me know, but she's putting away stuff that other people I know have said, oh, I couldn't eat that, or I couldn't eat that much. Like, this would make you, like, the way your stomach reacts with semaglutide and stuff. I feel like this would, if you were on it, it would leave you in danger of crapping your pants or something like that. I don't know.
Wait, you have Dapper on your arm?
Yeah, Amber, look, Amber, your mom has dauber on her arm, red dauber. It looks like a giant scab. She's impersonating your arm. Because that's what Amber's arms look like. She's got those scars and those scabs and stuff, and it's bad. And I really worry about her health with her having those wounds and stuff, because she probably is going to end up fully diabetic and they don't heal well, and she's just at a risk of infection. We know she gets a lot of cellulitis and stuff. Her arms are bad, and even though it's an absolute horror show, I am dying to know what those legs look like. I'm sure I could figure out by looking at other people's legs. They're not pretty skin under there, but they are in worse shape than her arms.
All right, so we're at a grocery store.
See, here is a perfect example.
Rest.
Of course, they're at a grocery store too. If you see here with the angle and stuff, Amber looks a lot rounder here and up close than she does in those very curated shots that are the main shots in her video. So look at this picture right here. It's like 7:15 mark around there of her video. Compared to her kitchen shots and stuff, you can see she is a lot physically rounder here and looks heavier because the filters are not working. That's why it's shots like this and little candid shots like this and angles that make me definitely believe she is lying about her weight. And she's at least, like I said, she's got to be at least 40 pounds heavier than what she's claiming.
My mom has to get
look at how
a couple things.
Look at, and like from the side where the filter don't work, you see how big she is.
Like milk, something to drink, things like that.
And I'm sure you definitely got something too, Amber. Don't act like, oh, we only had to stop here because of my mom.
We think I saw it before.
She should take notes from what her mom is getting and doing and eating, because her mom is actually eating right and eating healthy and losing weight and doing the damn thing, and she's not even on Ozempic.
My mom's grocery haul. Dr. Pepper is.
I've been into, like, they have this mix of like Dr. Pepper with cream soda, and it's great. I like it. It's expensive, so I don't get it all the time. I get the diet kind, and it's really good. And I've really been on a zero sugar cream soda kick, which is weird because I never really drank cream soda before, but I like it, and I have one right beside me, and it's really good. But the Dr. Pepper mixed with the cream soda is good. But see, mom is getting diet stuff, actually got just a drink and stuff.
Zero sugar
I
cherry.
believe her mom when her mom is telling us what she's eating, because she's getting the results.
Milk.
See, the whole milk. You're better off just getting the whole milk and just measuring out a portion of it. The skim milk and stuff is not better really, because it's only slightly less calories and it's just more sugar. It's more like sugar water. So that, but get the almond milk.
Coffee. It's a staple.
Okay, guys, so I just got home and I'm low-key so disappointed because I have been doing so good with like my lipedema and my lymphedema. Like,
No, you haven't, Amber. I'm so happy you brought that up, because I do have a lipedema video that I have to record. I literally, oh God, I'm talking like her. I made a document that is now about 9 to 10 pages long of actual script and notes and information for this video on lipedema. And we go into detail about what it is. And especially we go into a lot of detail about diet and why certain diets are recommended for it, and it goes beyond just wanting to torture people like Amber and weight. So it's actually we get quite clinical in it, which I love, because you guys know I have a med background and I find that stuff fascinating. But it's also going to be a good way to just do a video that's like not going to be like a 2-hour lipedema lecture, but it's going to be a good video to get some real good, like, just boil down truth and facts about lipedema, what it is, the causes, all that, the treatments and its effects on people, and how and why certain diets that were recommended to Amber work for it. So it's actually really interesting, and I think it'll be informative for a lot of people who just are interested in lipedema, who think they have it, who do have it. So yeah, I mean, that I hope it's helpful to somebody. But Amber is not doing good with her lipedema. She doesn't wrap her legs. She doesn't use compression garments of any kind. She doesn't do the massages, the lymphatic drainage, and she doesn't follow the diet. And believe me, while all those other therapies are very important, the diet is the main one. The diet is the main one, and definitely the compression garments too. Like, those are very, very key as far as daily management, and she does nothing. And I'm not going to get into surgery and stuff, liposuction too much with Amber. She's nowhere near, her and Anna O'Brien are nowhere near the point where they should have like surgical interventions. They need to do some other stuff first. But yeah, here she's going to go on talking about lying about how good she's doing, which is not true. And again, like, look at how fat she looks here.
Like, it has not been swollen at all. So, like, when I say that I feel like more like fluid.
How does she tell?
with my movements.
No, you haven't, Amber. You lumber around like you have two wooden legs because you can't bend your legs. You can't bend your knees. Like, do you see the delusion? She's like, oh, I have more fluidity. I walk around better. No, she doesn't. Amber, you're not even fully ambulatory. You're not fully mobile. If you gain more weight or you get a little bit of an injury, you're going to end up at some point, those legs are going to give out and you are at some point going to end up in a wheelchair or bedbound. Like, it's going to happen. She just doesn't do stuff with her legs. One, because she's lazy, and two, because she's embarrassed of them. But she could have cut this lipedema and lymphedema off at the pass years ago before it got anywhere near this point. It's this bad because she let it get that bad. So yeah, I mean, I guess she should be embarrassed because she did this to herself.
And like how losing the weight that I have lost, like truly just, I feel so much better. It's because I'm losing a lot of like that swelling and that fluid and that water.
Most of the weight she did lose initially, will be fluid, which is good because you need to get rid of that before you start tapping into fat. So
my body is holding on to due to the illnesses that I do have.
No, it's not illnesses, Amber. It's due to your diet, your lack of activity, your excess sodium intake, it's
Just lipedema and lymphedema. So like the normal person probably like hears me say that and they're like, girl, how do you already feel better? Like you've only lost like 20 something pounds since being on semaglutide. But it's because I have my swelling under control and it just feels so different. Like I feel like a completely different person, like in the way that I move and walk and things that I've...
Amber, you don't walk any better. If you walk so much better, do full body shots. Show us you walking. Full body shots, unedited. You can't because you have to swing your legs around to the side. Like, you don't walk any better. There is no improvement. And like, okay, here's where I'm gonna rain on poor Amber's parade, but that's okay because she's a pluviophile, right? Frodo's being a little stinker. I'm sorry, but this is just her trying to like. What is it? It's her trying to make her weight loss and achievements seem better than they actually are. I'm going to tell you, last year I lost the most, I'm trying to get back there. I lost the most weight I've lost in about 12 years, like 15 years. And I got just under 20 pounds. I think I got to around 18 or 19. And I am a fraction of Amber's size. And I can tell you, even then, for me, at about 19 pounds, I didn't see a difference in myself physically. My partner said he did. Okay, great. I know we don't see it on ourselves, but I'm going to tell you, I felt a little better. Even at my size, 19 pounds down, I didn't feel that much of a difference because I technically still had 40, 50 pounds I could lose. So, and even now I like gained all my weight back and stuff because I just said screw it. But, even now, like I'm down like about 10 pounds from my heaviest. I don't feel it at all, but I didn't feel 19 pounds that much. I didn't see it and I didn't feel it. It didn't make that much of a difference on me. So there is just no physical way that at 550, 560 pounds starting weight, Amber feels 20 pounds, like 19 or 22 pounds, whatever it is she's claiming. Just no way, because she's just too big. She's too huge. She's got too much mass on her. It may be helping her lipedema a little. It may be not quite as swollen, but her legs on a daily basis, guys, you have to remember, it would be akin to like a sausage in a casing, how that casing around a sausage is very tight. And if it like is packed too full, it like splits and stuff like that. That's what her legs are like. They're probably always very tight and hard and on the verge of popping. Sorry about that visual. So maybe they're a little less like that, but on her best days, they're probably just tight. On her bad days, I guarantee she has very enlarged pores. I guarantee she's got a lot of discoloration and rashes and bruising and probably like seeping and little wounds and stuff on her legs. So that might, like, the tightness might have gone down just a little bit, but she still eats too many carbs and way too much sodium and crap like that, and she's still eating too much. It's just a long fucking winded way to say, like, there's no way this woman feels that big of a change losing 20 pounds when your starting weight is like more than like your average female grizzly bear. Like, I don't feel it when my starting weight was around 185, 190. There's no way Amber feels it.
Able to do, it's honestly night and day. So tomorrow's actually my weekly weigh-in.
No, it isn't, Amber.
Shot.
No, it isn't. Don't believe a word she fucking says.
And things that I'm able to do, it's honestly night and day. So tomorrow's actually my weekly weigh-in. It's my 5th semaglutide shot, so that means it is also another weigh-in.
So she should be increasing her dose pretty soon, or she should have already, right? Like, she should be up to the next level by now, right?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm nervous because I could easily lose 6 pounds in a week of like.
She shouldn't be nervous. If she's really doing what she said, she should not be nervous at all. It's a lot harder for somebody my size with my my metabolic issues to lose weight than it is for Amber, who, like I said, weighs as much as a female grizzly bear. Initially, she can lose a lot of weight. If she was even half-assed doing what she should, and because she told us this week how much she had to force herself to eat and she's not hungry and blah blah blah, she weight would just be coming off consistently for the first like 2 or 3 months, and she said she could lose 6 pounds. Amber could lose 10 or 11 pounds a week right now. Seriously, I know it's not for everybody, it's not safe for everybody, but for Amber, absolutely.
Like normal weight, but if my lipedema and lymphedema feel like acting up, I could
Amber, oh my god, stop eating all the sodium then too.
Easily gain 5 pounds in water retention and fluid. So then when I step on the scale, it says I'm only down 1 pound. So it's like, what the heck? That's honestly like the best way to describe like.
So she is she is slaying the groundwork to have a weight gain. I guarantee she's already weighed herself. So when she gives us this next video, she's going to have gained weight or not lost, and she's already using the excuse as her lipedema is acting up. Isn't that convenient? Because even if she was retaining water and her lipedema was swollen a little bit, if she was still eating the way she claimed to be eating, she would still be in just such a deficit that lipedema or no lipedema, she still would have lost weight. She still would have lost weight. The lipedema doesn't make you retain and gain weight when you're in a big deficit when you're 500 plus pounds.
The frustration and having these issues, I'm not always.
You don't get to complain about the frustration, Amber, because you don't do anything about it. You don't help yourself. So guess what? You lie in the bed you made.
Gonna be perfect with that. Like, I can have my swelling under control, but sometimes it's gonna flare up, and I'm having a flare up today. I could be doing everything right, and still it's just like
no, Amber, if you were actually doing everything right for your lipedema right now, you would be seeing results. And isn't that convenient, guys? Like I said, her weigh-ins tomorrow and her lipedema is flaring up today. Isn't that convenient that it's flaring up the day before her weigh-in when everyone's expecting her to lose weight because she's been talking this big talk about eating healthy and hardly being able to eat and having to force herself to eat? Give me a break. This is a joke. She gained weight.
Swell on you. I know this topic is super unrelatable because not a lot of people deal with having lipedema and lymphedema in the state that I have it, but I do want to share my journey.
Yeah, like there's like, I think like 4 levels or 4 stages of lipedema. It's like 4 or 5. And then there's like, Amber's created an actual new level for herself. There's like stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, and stage damn, which would be Amber's level.
And my frustrations with it, because like I've been doing everything right, and
no, you haven't. See, this is one of the reasons I want to make a lipedema video. If you're out there and you're watching and you have it or think you have it, don't think she's going to make people think that they are, pardon my language, doomed to be disfigured and look like her and to be deformed. And that's not the case. She is doing absolutely, actually nothing that was told to her that she needs to do for her lipedema. So the fact that she can sit here and just stare us right in the face and seriously say, I've been doing everything, it's a lie, and it probably scares people and it confuses people. No, if you actually do what you need to do, you can have really, really great results with lipedema treatment. Amber's doing nothing. Don't let her, she's scaring people. She's giving medical misinformation, and it pisses me off.
I haven't weighed myself since the last time I stepped on the scale for you
Sure,
guys.
sure
So I'm
can.
hoping for a good weigh-in tomorrow. My fingers are crossed. I'm
But
just
it's not going to happen because you're retaining water.
feeling really good and really
It wasn't all those egg rolls and shit.
motivated. And I know that even like if the swelling does make me gain a couple pounds, I know that everything evens out. Like the first
Even if you were holding a couple pounds of water, if you were doing what you said, you would still be down actual fat. So you would still have lost weight. Just instead of losing 6 pounds, maybe you would have only have lost 5 or 4. So if you gained any weight, whatever, or not changed on the scale, it's because you're lying and you're still eating about 4,000 or 5,000 calories a day. Damn.
first week I lost a lot of weight. Second week not so much. Third week I did lose a lot of weight, and now it's the fourth week. So maybe it's gonna be like a back and forth thing for me. I don't know. We'll check out the patterns with more weigh-ins that I do. All right, you guys. So it is the end of the night. So that means it is.
I hate her doing these questions, guys. She's always so smug and like just arrogant in these that it makes me not want to listen to them, but we'll listen.
Time for questions of the day. Are you losing weight quicker or slower this time on Ozempic versus last time? Definitely quicker this time.
I don't know about that. I'd have to go back and look. I know last time I think she was really trying to be serious about it because Jade was there. And I think at that point, Jade, like they had talked and she knew Jade was like on her way out because Amber, she likes, like Jade likes big girls, but she likes them to be mobile and to do stuff, and Amber wasn't changing. But I don't know. We'll have to see. I think she was doing better last time.
I honestly didn't let it work the way that it could because I never stopped smoking.
Yeah, she was giving herself the munchies and powering through I don't know, what's the point of people like Amber taking appetite suppressants when they are bound and determined to make themselves sick and eat through them, because that's what she's done on everyone she's ever been on.
Literally was still getting high every day, all day, and that really does not help because it was giving me.
And I'm not saying people who smoke weed and get high and stuff are losers. Like, I don't like it. I don't do it, but I know it's good for some people. But just her in this context, she's such a loser.
The massive munchies, and it's supposed to help with like your appetite, and it's supposed to be an appetite suppressant. So I had Ozempic and THC kind of fighting against each other, and honestly, the munchies always won. Like a good example of that, it's taken me a little under 4 weeks to lose over 20 pounds this time. The last time, literally, I lost like 22 pounds, and it took me over 2 months. How often do you go grocery shopping? I would say every like 10 to 14 days. Kind of like
Girl, get the hell out of here. You do 2 or 3 grocery hauls a week. See, that's where she's going to play on words. She's going to play on words. Somebody said, how often do you go grocery shopping? And she's like, oh, maybe it's every 10 to 14 days, ignoring the fact that like 4 times a week, she also has groceries Instacarted and delivered to her. But she could say, technically, I don't physically go grocery shopping. You know what I mean? So Amber's real sly with playing words.
like every 2 weeks, I would say. Okay, hear me out. Everyone says you never leave the house, but you leave the house in almost every single vlog I've seen.
People have not really said that she hasn't left the house in a while, because she has been. They just complain that she's doing the same boring stuff and she's not changing it up, and she's not going and trying to walk or do anything healthier for herself. But I haven't saw anybody say we say she doesn't do anything, but that's because she doesn't, like as far as work. And when she isn't out with her mom, she does sit around in the house all day and doesn't do anything. But people haven't said, oh, you never physically leave the house, because she does.
Lately, I'm becoming more aware that if you said you had 2 eyes, people would say you had 4. I think you should vlog for a day the lifestyle people think you actually have, so they can bite their tongues. What do you say, vlogger Lynn?
She absolutely wrote that herself. That's something she wrote.
I'm not really sure what you mean, but it is true. People say I never leave my house, but I literally leave my house constantly. So it is definitely weird. Are you smoking Delta 8 again? Your eyes at 5:30 looked so droopy and you looked high. No, I have not been high or anything. I have been completely sober in over a month.
Amber, you don't have to act. Oh, see, this is another thing. She's glorifying her achievements. I've been sober, guys. I'm sober. Like, no, you haven't, because you smoke weed or do, weed however you want, or you have buzz balls and have some drinks, but those aren't your problems. Like, you can leave those, take them or leave them. Your main problem that you need to get, quote, sober from is food, and you've made no attempt to really change that. So, no, you haven't been sober. And that's like her just like smoking and drinking here and there, and then acting like she was this like complete addict, and that she's in recovery and she's gotten herself sober, guys, with no help, no programs, no nothing. It's like, it's insulting the people like her mom who actually do the hard work of getting sober, who legitimately had a problem. And it's just so insulting. Get sober, Amber, from your food addiction, and then talk to us.
And I'm very proud of that accomplishment.
Of course you are, because you're proud of freaking everything, and that's one of your problems, is you're proud of everything, so you don't ever really have to strive for anything, because no matter what you do, whether it's good or bad, whether it's hard or easy, whether you fail or succeed, you're still going to be proud of yourself. So
how's the no Delta 8 and no soft drink going? It's going really good. I drink nothing but water, and I'm
No, she doesn't. And you just drank a muscle milk today, a Core Power, so you're lying. And you had a slushie at the... There's no way she's not drinking diet sodas and stuff. I couldn't. I'm addicted to that stuff. But there's no way this woman is drinking just water. Nope.
standing by that, and I'm still doing that. I don't know. I just feel really good, and I'm very proud of the decisions that I've made.
Of course
and
you
really
are,
believe
because you're always freaking proud. I just explained this. And honestly, if she had that much self-control to only be drinking water and saying no to all those drinks and stuff, and not going through Starbucks to get like her little treats, she would be dropping so much more weight. She just physically would. And I don't see it.
semaglutide helped that. Anyways, I'm going to end this vlog. I hope
Anyways, okay guys, I'm sorry this one went on longer than I thought. I just end up talking and she makes me crazy, and then we end up being here for an hour. But anyways, like, subscribe, do all the YouTube things, leave a comment, let me know what you thought about this video. I am going to get the little man up and make him some breakfast and stuff, and then I'm going to see if I can pop out an Alexandria react today too. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. I appreciate you watching. Have a good one.